Good morning, everybody. It's Marty, the JavaScript party. It is March 31st, the last day of March. Woohoo! 8:41 a.m. So I have about 15 minutes before work, before I need to shut things down and move over to doing my job, earning that money. Today is, I think, the second most important day of the year at my job. It is, I think today's the second to last day before the last day of the legislative session. And so they have till tomorrow, well, the end of Thursday to get any laws they want to get passed through the legislative, Georgia legislation. So that makes it a pretty important day. But, so we are running. Um, so it should be a couple of days that I need to be pretty serious. Yeah, so we're doing TED coverage just for funsies. We'll just add a viz, add another viz, add another viz. I haven't done this in a while. That's nice. And we can add 16 visits before, and that is a limitation of the browser. The browser will only let you create 16 renderers. It's just something I learned as part of this project. I would have thought that you could make an infinite number of renderers. I wouldn't have thought that there would be a limit. All right, so we're only running one unit test. So if we go to our test coverage, if I open this guy up and then come over here, drag in my coverage report, and there's one I care about specifically right now, and that's three animations class. So I think maybe I can type in three. I've never tried this. Nope. So you can't type in the name of the thing of that. I think it's because, well, let's try three dash the name of the file. See, that doesn't work either. And I think it's because it sort of hides it just tells you like the component. So this is, or the like, I don't know what you would call it, the class type of thing. Class is not a good word, terrible word for that. So this is in app, services, entities, three, and animations. So app, services. I wonder if I type in app dash services and then slash three. Nope, that doesn't work either. Services slash, I wonder why. That seems like oh, entities. Entities. This is actually probably a really good thing to do. Entities, and now I'm looking at this little guy up here, this band up here. Entities, and what's after that? What's after entities is three. And then animations is the next one. And then in here, wow, we are, it's kind of crazy just literally creating this class, test class, doesn't call anything. And I guess that makes sense. The constructor is the only thing that actually gets called. And it feels like, I don't know for sure, but it feels like all of these could actually be static classes, which means that you wouldn't even have to construct them to access them. Um, that is a new concept for me, so I definitely want to, I don't know, kind of start with at a different part, but I feel like it makes sense to make every one of these functions static. And then that way you wouldn't actually have to create an instance of it like the way we're doing here. You could just, um, you would just be able to call it directly from three animation class dot and that. And that's like, I don't know, it's wild because it feels like an incredibly powerful thing and it's just kind of wild. So anyways, we should update a property for an animation. And then, so we're going to try that. Should update a property for animation. And I don't really like how I do this right here. I think I would rather this be its own function. Um, I really like the idea of um, um, uh, what would you call it? So this was called a branch. Like when I was first interacting with Angular or for ChatGPT, it was telling me that this is a branch and you want to do functions over branches. But the problem is that branch in technology is, at least in front end, is absolutely dominated. That word is absolutely heavily used in Git. So it's probably should, and I notice a lot of people like to call something like this a guard, right? Like, so guards over or functions over guards is what I would prefer. But let's go ahead and get started with should update a property for animations. I don't know what I should do. I feel like at this point it makes more sense to, um, I don't know, let's just do this. So, and I feel like, let me go back over here and see if I could tell. I feel like so one of the things I found is that when you're trying to figure out where you are here on the left, it's good. You can just leave this view and then come back to this view. And then when you come back, you're focused on the uh, where you're at. It finds it, locates it. But it feels like at this point, I don't know. I guess I have mixed feelings because part of me wants to um, do this breakdown now, and then part of me wants me to wait. Oh, that was one of the things I wanted to see though. Is like, how old is this thing? I feel like this has been around since the very beginning. And I guess it makes sense that it would be around since the very beginning. Well, your last refactors, animations. Oh, so it looks like this is pretty recent. All right, so let's hit back. Let's go back to our unit tests and process. See, this is like update property for animation, and then this actually updates the property for a path, right? That's what this does. So let's go ahead and take care of that. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I changed my mind. So I want to well, no, I want to do this first. I want to go through the process. So in order to do this, I need a mesh, a three mesh. So const mesh, which is a three. How do I do that? Three dot mesh. Ooh, you're not supposed to be three animation class. You're supposed to be three. So I think I need to import three. I'm guessing I import three over here, so I can just copy however I do that. Yeah. So import star as three from three. I guess we want to put that here. I usually like to do these, I don't know, the first. Okay, so now we have, now my ID knows what three is equal to, and how would we do that? I think we would do new, I don't know exactly how to do this, three dot mesh. Oh, looks like it'll let us do that. I don't know what's going to happen when we do that, but we'll just go with it. It'll be fun. And const animation, which is an ST animation, and that is equal to new ST animation. Oh, I've never done this before. Okay, so ST animation is not. So that is fascinating. See, because ST animation, this makes a lot more sense to me now that I've been doing some back end at work. See, ST animation is just an interface. It doesn't have a constructor to it. If it was a class, if ST animation was a class, then I could just say new ST animation. It would probably return it, but I can't. So I need the ST animation. Where do you get ST animations from? Oh, I need an ST animation service. So it's like this thing. I need one of these things. And then I need to be like create animation, and that'll give me an ST animation. I'm kind of in a weird spot right now because um so like in C sharp, and I'm pretty new to C sharp. I've been working on C sharp for like a year, maybe closing in on 2 years now. And in C sharp, yeah, and I'm sure in TypeScript too. But it's very common to create classes, and then with your class, it is capable of creating its own. I have done something different where I have this ST animation, and the ST animation is a class too, but it is also decorated with all this stuff. It's decorated with stuff so that it can be used in the injector, but I don't think you have to use it in the injector, but maybe. But we need to import our ST animation service. So import. It's kind of wild because like I don't know that I've ever um I don't think I've ever no, wrong one. That's where we're at right now. Is there an ST or do I need to go back? Where are we right now? I wonder. Oh, I guess we're in 3. So I guess we want to go back one more. And then 3? Is this what we want? 3. No, that's where we're at right now. We want to be in I think it's ST is where we want to be. And that's animation and slash animation service. Cool. And so now we have an ST animation service. And I think we could probably, I don't know if you could do that, but I think you could probably create that as just a regular class. Let's see. I don't know. It seems like you could just create this as just a regular class. I'm very curious about this. Service. ST animation service. I don't know. Okay, so this, it looks like we just created as just a class. I don't think it, to create a new animation, and what we're trying to do is create a brand new animation. In order to create a new animation, we do st animation service dot create animation. All right, so create st animation is not happy, and it's because it wanted an argument for count. Oh, and I think count is sort of just a thing that we have for now, just to make it to where we can differentiate, have different animations for any given thing. But we'll have to come up with a better scheme in the future. But based on the count is whether which direction of rotations and stuff that this animation describes. So let's just see if this works, because I'm very curious. Let's see. Expect. Oh, okay. So yeah, it did fail. Ah, because it needs to actually have it actually when it goes to create it, it needs to have access to the injection. But oh, interesting. So it has to, let's go back to this guy right here. When it comes through here to create this animation, the first thing it tries to do is use the recyclable service, which it gets from the injector, and we never set up an injector. So in order to be able to test this, we need to probably mock an ST animation as opposed to um, create one, because, I want to test it outside of Angular, and not for any good like reason other than I just want to do it. Um, so what we need to do is we need to create an ST animation. So let's do this. So we don't want the animation service anymore. I want that no more. It was neat though, be able to run it. But like, really, you don't want to create a full-blown ST animation, because what happens is um, you'll end up with, if you create I mean, because that's like locked into the concept of having its own ID and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe that's not even a good idea. I'm not sure. We're gonna see how that plays itself out. But we do need to look at ST animations. So go to definition. So we need these things. We need a type, which we will have. Basically, we need all of this. So I'm just going to copy all of this. We could also like split to the right or whatever, but I'm just going to copy this. I'll remove this afterwards. Okay, so we do need an ST. So expect 1.2 equal 1. Okay, so that should pass for now. And now we know that we need a type. And we know that the type has to be an ST animation for it to be an ST animation. We also we know we need an ID, and it could be whatever. So ST animation ID, and we're just going to say that that is equal to 1, comma. So I'm looking at this up here. So alias. We know we need an alias, and I know there's not many choices. There's only a couple choices. I think, yeah. So we're going to say this is a mesh rotation of X alias. So the way that works is mesh is the first property, rotation is the second property, and X is the third property. So that's telling it to rotate along the X axis, which I actually think is like this, because the X axis goes like that in front of us and then rotates. So it's this one right here, this guy. So you see how that one's rotating along, like as if the X was we're in the middle, it's rotating. That actually probably would be a very good lesson for a lot of people. Um, so temporal, I think I only have one temporal type at the moment. I think it's called continuous, if I remember correctly. No, infinite. I have two of them, infinite and limits, and I think I only support infinite. Redraw. There we go. And then redraw can be discrete. It's kind of funny that I didn't continuous or discrete. And then time. I think that's just a number. That's just how often it was. And I don't even know if it's milliseconds or what. Values. And that is an array. And it's an array of ST animation value types. So I don't even know if it has to. Probably need it. I don't even know. Let's look at the code coverage here. So do we use that value? Animation values. Okay, 0. Okay, so we need to add that. Oh crap, it is time for me to go to work. Hang on, let me just finish this one last thing. Values and value time function. And that, okay, and that's optional, so we won't do that one. All right, gotta go. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.